Ladies and germs, we have ourselves a Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3 update today. It's insane! As most of you already know, Terrifier 2 is heading back to the big screen on November 1st, but we just got an update regarding what special thing we're going to be getting during this re-release that's supposed to tease Terrifier 3. Writer-director Damien Leone and producer Michael Levy have said some very interesting comments regarding whatever this after the credits sequence is going to be. Let's get right on into it.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Real quickly before we get into this update, a word from our sponsor. Don't Get Stabbed is a party game where you get to kill your friends and family for pretend. This spooky card game is playable for 3 to 5 players, where one person acts as the killer, whoever is the most evil of course, and everyone else plays as victims. Don't split up or get too horny now. All players take turn drawing cards. If a victim gets 3 stab cards, they die, but they can use action cards to avoid getting stabbed. Victims can also use combo cards to escape and win the game. Pull a Sam Carpenter and just get the heck out of there. The killer, on the other hand, has special powers. If the killer draws a stab card, they can put it back in the deck wherever they want. They can also use action and combo cards to thwart victims' attempts at staying alive. Slash into this killer card game by purchasing it on Amazon or don'tgetstabbed.com. Use promo code KillJoyJake at checkout for 10% off your order. The link for this bangin' card game is in the description of this video. Check out Don't Get Stabbed by clicking on the link in the description of this video, and thank you so much to RMG for sponsoring today's video. Alright, now let's get into the Terrifier 2 and 3 updates. I'm so excited! Eagle-eyed Terrifier fans have noticed that the re-release coming out in November is 3 minutes longer than the original runtime. The original runtime for Terrifier 2 is 2 hours and 18 minutes, but the re-release runtime is 2 hours and 21 minutes, adding an additional 3 minutes. You guys have heard me say the word minute a whole lot. Could you imagine if Minute Maid was the sponsor of this video? They're not. That's a joke. Don't come after me, Minute Maid. You may ask yourself, what could those extra 3 minutes be? Terrifier 2 does not need to be longer. Totally kidding. Actually, if it was 3 hours, I would love it even more. What could those 3 minutes be though? In my opinion, I think it could be some kind of Terrifier 3 trailer, teaser, whatever. Have they filmed anything for Terrifier 3 though? That's kind of the biggest question. Honestly, it could just be some random shots of Art the Clown getting a kill in the next movie. If it was just that, I would be happy. Don't spoil an entire kill or something, but just give us a little taste of something. Terrifier 3 is tentatively slated to come out sometime in October of 2024, but nothing is confirmed as of yet. Soon, I'm sure we'll have a release date now that the WGA strike is over and the SAG strike slowly is coming to an end. I hate to burst the bubble, but I'm not 100% sure if we get a full-on trailer. It could just be Damien Leone talking about the 3rd installment, potentially teasing something that's going to happen in the film that they've just yet to make, of course. Before the WGA and SAG strike started, Damien Leone and many other Terrifier 2 cast members were very busy with conventions. I even got to meet a bunch of them back in March. It was awesome. Point being though, I'm not sure when and where in their schedules they would have had time to have filmed something for Terrifier 3. My guess is we're probably just going to get some kind of exclusive interview with the writer-director Damien Leone talking about the upcoming film, which would suffice in my opinion. I don't know if you guys remember this, but while Terrifier 2 was being marketed and kind of being pushed out there, like way early on, like during like 2021, I want to say, we got this interview with Damien Leone talking to Elliot Fulham, who plays Jonathan in the film, but also runs this YouTube channel called Little Punk People. During that interview, Damien Leone gave us a little insight into Terrifier 2, talking about how some evil entity brings Art the Clown back to life. We now know this character as the Little Pale Girl. A great addition to the Terrifier franchise, might I add. Fingers crossed we see more of her and Vicky in the next installment. So my guess right now is we get an interview with Damien, maybe a few other cast members that are coming back for Terrifier 3, giving us some kind of tease as to what's to come in the next film. If that's all we get, personally, I'll be happy with that, because that's still something to talk about until we get the film in probably October of 2024. But we recently got even more comments from director Damien Leone and producer Michael Levy regarding whatever this post-credits scene is going to be. Let's get into it. Responding to that same Facebook post I was just talking about, Damien Leone responded saying, "Trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss what's coming after the credits." So there you go, confirmation that sometime after the credits, there's going to be something that teases Terrifier 3, if Damien's previous statement was true. On top of that, producer Michael Levy says what Damien said. Big surprise, don't miss it. Real quick sidebar about Michael, by the way, he's working on this movie called Stream that I am so excited for and looks badass. I even backed the film on Indiegogo a little while ago. I gotta do a full video on this Stream movie because it looks awesome. It features many Terrifier 2 alum. David Howard Thornton is one of the killers, and Damien Leone is even doing some of the special effects for it. I cannot wait to see this movie. If you guys want to see a full video talking about what the Terrifier people are working on besides Terrifier 3, leave me something about it in the comments. And one last thing I wanted to put up on the screen here regarding Terrifier 3 is that there is a lot of fan excitement for whatever this is going to be after the credits. Let's have a look-see at this example, shall we? On that same post, a Terrifier fan said, "Oh my god, I would be pissing and shitting all over from excitement, please God, please." I'm right there with ya. I'm going to soil my pants in that theater, and I feel bad for the person that's gonna clean it up. I'm kidding, of course. I would defecate in the barf bag that they give me before the movie. Why else would they give it to me? I'm not gonna go to the bathroom and miss a minute of that. I'm gonna poop in the chair. While I think it's unlikely that we do get new footage, I'm just excited to see what Damien or whoever else has to say about the upcoming film and the new direction it's going to be taking. As we've already learned about Terrifier 3, it's going to be much more horror-oriented, based on previous comments from the writer-director. I really enjoyed Terrifier 2 for being a little more comedic and also kind of supernatural, but I am excited to get a much more grounded Art the Clown story in Terrifier 3. Maybe a little more similar to All Hallows Eve, but with a way bigger budget than what that movie ended up having. We also have a few little tiny updates regarding the Terrifier franchise, including a 4K set that's going to include Terrifiers 1 and 2 on top of All Hallows Eve, which if you haven't seen and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is kind of the predecessor to what ended up becoming Terrifier. It's an anthology horror film written and directed by Damien Leone, and it features Art the Clown through many of the skits. I recommend it if you're a fan of the Terrifier films, but in my opinion, I think both Terrifier 1 and 2 are better. The set also includes posters, collectible photos, pins, and magnets, as well as all of those movies I just talked about. Your boy's gonna get his hands on this, you may want to as well. One last thing and I'll stop talking your guys' ears off, we also have some very interesting drama! Drama alert! Somebody call me Keemstar, because holy shit, Saw X and Terrifier 2 are button heads! But like, also, not really. During Saw X's marketing campaign before it came out last week, it was reported that fans would need barf bags because it's grosser than Terrifier 2. Now, while I strongly disagree with that and I won't spoil anything about Saw X, I do think it is really funny. Responding to this, Bloody Disgusting tweeted out today, "Hello Saw, we understand you're making people vomit. We respect that. But when Terrifier 2 returns to theaters on November 1st, you're all going to need a bigger barf bag." The Saw account responded to this saying, "Hello Bloody Disgusting, have we not learned our lesson? Don't underestimate me. It is not the size of the vomit bag that matters. It is the frequency of the projectile." I just love this. 10 out of 10. Great marketing from both sides here. These are two of my favorite horror films in the last 2 years, too. Just coming together, being a bunch of silly goofs. And that's what life is all about, being a silly little goof. I'm gonna real quickly just say, if you haven't seen Saw X yet, you're missing out. Go see this bad boy in the theaters. I had a blast with it. It may not be gorier than Terrifier 2, but I had a really good time with it. Also, check out my review. Shameless plug. Maybe a little bit of shame. There is a lot of hype for this re-release starting on November 1st. I'm very thankful to the people at Bloody Disgusting for keeping the Halloween train rolling past October 31st. I cannot wait to see this on the big screen again, and I urge you all to go as well as Terrifier fans who may be seeing a little sneak peek at Terrifier 3. What do you guys think we'll get during this mysterious screening? Will it be a Terrifier 3 trailer or just some kind of interview with the directors and new people involved? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this brand new Terrifier 2 and 3 update, I guess. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content in the future. Please consider supporting me on Patreon as well by clicking the link in the description below, especially if you want to get on my podcast. Thank you all for watching again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.